What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Chase, and today I'm reacting to the new Goblin Slayer opening and ending. I have previously reacted to Goblin Slayer opening one and ending one on my other channel called Chase and Sky Reacts. I'll leave a picture of it on screen. And if you are interested, I do have a Patreon with uncut, unblurred, and early reactions, so go make sure to check that out as well. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to react to some Goblin Slayer openings. Opening 2, let's get it. Wow, this is different already right off the bat. This is almost kind of eerie. Wow, that is dark. I always think of goblins as so weak, but I guess against a normal person, they can really do some damage. She looks really cool. He facing a whole army by himself? Oh my gosh! Look how many there are. What is that? Like a demon god? And just a samurai? Interesting. In the last video I did on this, I said that Goblin Slayer was like kind of going crazy from all this killing and bloodshed, and that maybe he felt really alone and kind of worn down. Like he's still fighting a lot of goblins, right? But he has this group around him, and I almost feel like that's gonna be really good for him. Like obviously physically, like he's gonna have a larger fighting force, but I almost feel like mentally that's even like better for him than it was before. And that girl at the end that was standing in that field, that kind of, and she was like standing in front of the sunshine, kind of makes me feel like she's kind of his sunshine, like she's the one there for him to like lift him up out of the darkness, because a lot of this fighting was like super dark, and then right at the end, she's there in the light to and bringing him towards the light. So I think these newfound friends and comrades are really helping him to just become a better person, but he obviously still wants to slay goblins, so they're also there for that as well. Another thing, like this samurai, right? I thought this was more medieval type of vibes, like fantasy medieval, but this is a samurai, and I don't really think of samurai when I think of like medieval knights, which is pretty interesting that they're like crossing that over. And I wonder if that's just like a different region, like maybe they had to go to a different town, or probably more like a different country, and maybe there's these people that maybe even slay goblins like him. I just realized he has the same red eye just like him. So this might be a goblin slayer from a different country that also slays goblins, or this might be him previously when he was a samurai. Would that make sense? Like maybe it's the same character as a samurai and then he gets like this other armor. I don't know. That's interesting that he has the same like kind of red eye. Also, maybe the samurai isn't a goblin slayer because that is not a goblin, and it's like this new group that's facing this big monster with the samurai guy at the head. So maybe it's just like the other side of the coin. Like Goblin Slayer takes care of all the lower monsters, all the goblins, and this other group is like maybe even more well known, but takes care of like these big monsters. They still need to like get destroyed, right? They're still like really dangerous. But this is just the other group that handles that, which I think would be pretty cool because you're seeing the two different sides. Like, yeah, like little villages, like those people that were getting hunted down by goblins, that happens a lot. So Goblin Slayer's there for that. But when it's these big monsters, there also needs to be this group that goes and handles it. And I'm pretty sure she was in the previous opening. This like, I think this is a cleric maybe, or a healer of some kind. She has like those kind of religious robes, but she looks upgraded. Like look at that outfit and that staff. That looks sick. And I almost feel like the art style maybe is a little bit cleaner. Like it just looks really, really good, and she looks really cool. So I want to see what she's able to do. Another thing I'm really curious about is how influential these dice are. Like when I think of dice in this fantasy setting, I think of D&D. I've played some D&D. It's a really fun game. If you haven't played it, make sure to play it. but I wonder if it actually has an impact in this game. Is there actually people rolling dice? Like, are there chances going around, like, if you roll bad? Or is it kind of just like a visual representation of, like, this is like D&D and it's a fantasy anime, which would also be cool, but I really want to know if, like, how significant is the dice. So let me know in the comments down below, because that'd be really cool. So I think I talked about this a little bit in the last video when I reacted to the opening one and ending one of Goblin Slayer. But I feel like this red eyes when he goes into like a frenzy mode, because look at him right now. He's covered in blood. He's like, looks like he's screaming up in the air. And I also wonder, going back to the die theory, when he's in this mode, I wonder if his luck goes up. Like, does he start rolling 20s and just start destroying everybody? Because, like, it seems like it's a buff, you know? And I wonder if other characters actually see it. Like, is this actually like a red power that he's like possessing and using? Or is this kind of just for the audience, like, hey, this guy's going crazy right now, like, watch this? Because either way, that'd be really cool. But that'd be interesting if his like luck goes up based on maybe even how red it is or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. So when I think of goblins, right, I think of these little weak creatures that maybe like claw at you, bite at you, maybe have like a little club or something. But they have swords and bows and arrows. So they get like training from somebody, or do they train themselves? Are these like a pack of smarter goblins that can do that type of thing? And I wonder if they can even like use more like advanced stuff than that. Can they actually like learn tactics? Like, can there be an actual army of goblins? Like, maybe they have shields and other stuff like that? Because that would definitely make goblins way more dangerous in this verse compared to, you know, other fantasy settings. And it'd be cool to know what their limit is. Goblin Slayer, ending 2. Let's get it. That was cool. Almost seems like she was like gaining some conviction right there with holding that fist. I don't know, but then she sinks into the water like she's drowning. Bro, she always looks so happy. It's interesting they're only showing the girls of the show. Again, another girl. They're showing... Huh. I wonder if they have a bigger role this season or something like that. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I really like that song, how it's like that slow type of melody, but it's not like a depressing type of slow. It's still uplifting. And I really like that. I wonder if this is almost signifying like that the group splits for a time or something like that. I do find it pretty interesting that during this whole thing, like, the guys and girls are split up and then they come together at the end. So it kind of seems like during this opening, you know how the guys and girls are split up? Maybe the three guys had to go on their own like little solo adventure. So they're like off doing their own thing. And then they kind of regroup again, because in the opening we saw them all together fighting. So I'm not exactly sure why they're split up, but it could definitely be something like that. It's also interesting, this blonde girl on the right, she was kind of struggling in the beginning, kind of laying there forlorn, but she kind of showed some conviction but then drowned again. Like, she's fighting with some kind of inner demon, it almost feels like, some kind of maybe loss of some kind, or trying to find her conviction still. Maybe she's the reason they're split up, she's trying to find her own conviction. Like, maybe the other group already has theirs. Actually, I just realized looking at this screenshot right here, he's in the background and she's like watching him. So it's almost like she's stalking him maybe, or something like that. I don't know, maybe trying to learn his habits to gain experience. I don't know. But it's interesting how he's just in the background like that, walking through a city, and she's hiding. It could be that she was having doubts, maybe, of going out in these dangerous missions and fighting these dangerous monsters. Maybe she kind of stayed home and tried to think through, like, do I really want to be doing this dangerous thing if I don't have to? You know, there could be other people out there doing the same thing. Like, do I have to be the one to kind of throw myself into the fire or throw myself into danger? And she's kind of drowning in that decision, like we saw in the other singing. I feel like it could be definitely be something like that. And it kind of looks like it's the same thing right here. Like this elven archer girl is like looks really worried and deep in thought. Maybe worried about the guys going off on an adventure or something to do like that. Because it's interesting that they're both really worried. The third girl is like really happy still, but we don't see the really happy girl at the end when they all meet up together. It's just the two girls that seem like they're in the party are super worried about something or other. So I'm really curious what that big kind of like what's the deal with them? Like why are they so worried about the Goblin Slayer? And when it comes to the songs of opening 2 and ending 2, I think I like them more than opening 1 and ending 1. Like just the overall visuals and the songs themselves were very beautiful and had this certain type of vibe to them that I'm not 100% sure how to explain, but it was really cool. And I want to see more like this, you know? Like I wonder if season 2 this whole type of vibe is like is it like this? Cuz I want to watch the show if it is. Like this seems really cool. Like season 1 it seemed very dark and like there's no hope. But this one there's still darkness, but there seems to be more hope, you know? And I really like that. I think that's really cool for these characters that they have this diversity of emotions. All right, and there we have it. That was Goblin Slayer opening 2 and ending 2. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below for more suggestions and like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.